This is looking to be a very explosive fight. One that you definitely don't want to miss out on.
So what would the result be?
The prediction is will not last 12 rounds, I think.
Some nice ones, thank you.
He's a legend. I think he can do it. Absolutely.
At the fiery first press conference for his upcoming fight, boxing legend Manny Pacquiao sent shockwaves through the room with a chilling message directed at Mario Barrios. The 8-division world champion, known for his explosive speed and calm humility, shed his usual composure and delivered a fierce warning. As cameras flashed and tension rose, Pacquiao made it clear, this fight isn't just business, it's personal. And if Barrios thought he was facing a faded icon, Pacquiao's intensity proved otherwise.
Okay, how's it going?
All right, good. Everything good.
All right, so
Weekend. Good, man.
for a long time we talked about Manny Pacquiao coming back to us, and for a long time we talked about him fighting. Now it's real, it's happening. Him and Mario Barrios, break it down.
Yeah, Barrios is champion, so it's a good fight.
WBC champ.
Don't count Pacquiao. Everyone's counting Pacquiao out because of his age. It's like a bunch of haters, man. He still has tons of power, tons of speed, and a shitload of experience.
If Manny wins, would it shock you or no?
No.
But it would shock the whole world.
We shock the world, but if he wins at his age, yeah, it's not. Listen, he's 45, 46.
Are you leaving jail?
45, 46, but he's not. He's always active. He's always staying active. He's always doing something. Mostly playing basketball, some sort of sport, something cardio. So not really.
When Nate Diaz beat Conor McGregor, he said, "I'm not surprised." So Manny could say that after he beats Barrios, that he wasn't surprised that he's supposed to win.
Diaz beat. Different Diaz. I like Diaz.
Manny Pacquiao's return to the ring after a 4-year hiatus has sparked major buzz, especially after his intense press conference where he issued a stern warning to WBC welterweight champion Mario Barrios. The 46-year-old legend, known for his speed and power, is set to face the 29-year-old Barrios on July 19, 2025, at the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas.
It's a very contentious subject, people moaning about Manny Pacquiao. I think Manny Pacquiao is still good enough to beat most fighters in the top 20 at 147 pounds. He's clearly not the fighter that he once was. You're not going to be at that age. My problem is that he's been inactive for quite a long time. Like we were talking about fighting him with Conor Benn maybe 6 months ago or a year, and every month or 3 months or 6 months that passes, you do become a lot older. So, I guess there's two questions. One is, should he be fighting again? And at the end of the day, if he's good enough to beat everybody outside of the top 20 in the world, then why not? But should he be fighting for the world title? I guess that's another question. In the commercial world of boxing, the answer is yeah, probably. In the ratings world and activity world, the answer is probably not.
Do you think it's strange that he's coming off the couch and getting a title fight like that?
I think when you've achieved what he's achieved, you've always got the right to do things a little bit differently to others. And with all due respect, Barrios is not Boots, and Barrios is not Crawford. And that's why we pushed the Conor Benn fight. Conor Benn, his best win is against Algieri or Van Heerden. So actually, Pacquiao is a step up. And people were still complaining at me for mentioning that fight, like Conor Benn is Boots. But he still hasn't had those wins yet.
Pacquiao has resumed training under the watchful eye of his longtime coach, Freddie Roach. Despite concerns about his age and time away from professional boxing, he has shown flashes of his former self during training sessions. Still, some fans and experts remain skeptical about his ability to compete at the highest level after such a long break. Recent footage from Los Angeles shows Pacquiao speaking with the calm resolve of a man ready to face any challenge. He reflected on the burden of being a role model and the importance of learning from past defeats. His tone was serious yet positive, and physically he looked sharp and focused. Training sessions reveal him hitting pads with speed, moving fluidly, and preparing for his clash with Barrios with the intensity of a younger fighter seeking redemption. However, the decision to sanction the fight has stirred controversy. Critics argue that Pacquiao's age and recent inactivity should have ruled out a title shot. The WBC's decision to rank him number 5 in the welterweight division has also drawn criticism, with many questioning the legitimacy of the ranking and the potential risks involved.
I'm hearing things here. Manny Pacquiao aiming for a short return to the ring, age 46, Josh.
Yeah, I read something about that, man. It's, that guy's my hero, you know, I named my dog after him and stuff like that, you know, stuff, but he's touching 50 years old. I think, you know, he should leave it where it is, you know, but, you know, obviously if you get a chance to share a ring with Manny Pacquiao, nobody's going to say no.
Trainer Greg Hackett didn't hold back when commenting on Manny Pacquiao's unexpected comeback fight against Mario Barrios. Speaking bluntly, Hackett said that if this fight had happened years ago, Pacquiao would have easily dismantled Barrios, but times have changed. According to Hackett, today's Pacquiao is a shadow of the explosive, dynamic fighter who once ruled the sport. Now 45, the Filipino legend can't be expected to display the same speed, stamina, or ruthless edge. Hackett called the bout more of a money grab than a true contest between elite athletes in their prime, describing it as a spectacle rather than a clash of equals.
Take a lick, you know what I mean? But Pacquiao not Pacquiao no more. It's tough to go against him in this situation because if it was some years ago, Pacquiao would beat Barrios. But right now, Barrios, with his momentum, might try to beat Pacquiao up. I mean, not knock him out, but, you know what I mean, beat him on the cards, beat him behind that jab.
Similar to like Ugas, the Ugas fight?
Yeah. It's a good fight, but it's more of a good fight for Barrios. Pacquiao don't need it, but Pacquiao want to come back, and he want to come back with a bang, so, I mean, why not? If he could make it happen, make it happen. Because I would love, if Barrios was my fighter, I would love to have a Pacquiao on the record. I mean, I would love something like that. And that's a fight you know you got to get ready for.
It's a fight that boxing fans want to criticize you for.
Yeah.
But the reality is Manny Pacquiao has a diehard fan base that you're going to make money with that fight.
Yeah.
But everybody wants to see other fights at 47. You Stanionis, you Boots, you Brian Norman.
Yeah, but he want to steal as much as he can steal. You know what I mean? Because again, this shit is not forever. Just like anything else, it's going to end. So you want to make some money and you want to do great things.
Former champion Tim Bradley voiced similar concerns, suggesting that the fight is driven more by financial motives than the pursuit of boxing glory. According to Bradley, when a fighter comes out of retirement, it often signals a need for a payday. While the WBC title may be at stake, he believes the real incentive is the purse. Barrios, a younger and active contender, is being positioned as the fresh face to test Pacquiao's limits. Bradley even stated that Barrios has the youth, momentum, and skill to potentially finish Pacquiao, raising serious questions about whether the legend should be in the ring at all.
Getting back in the ring again for a world title fight.
Well, obviously, you know, it has to be pertaining to any kind of money. You know, it has to be financial. I mean, any fighter that comes back, especially from retirement, a guy like Manny Pacquiao, it definitely has to do with money. 1, 2. I think Manny Pacquiao, I think his C game is a lot better than anybody, a lot of guys' A game, even with the age. But you have to take into account the last time he stepped foot in that ring against Ugas. You know, he didn't look good. He was outmatched by, you know, a fighter, a younger fighter. Barrios is no slouch. Barrios is a young fighter, you know, bigger fighter, knows how to, you know, control distance very well, can punch a little bit. Like, he's no easy task for anybody in the welterweight division. And for Manny to come back after this long and to face a young guy like that is dangerous. And sometimes, you know, these old legends, they got to get beat up several times before they call it quits. You know, that Ugas fight, I don't know if it was enough for Pacquiao. That's why he's coming back. But Barrios, he can he can finish Pacquiao. There's a possibility that he can finish Pacquiao and basically cause him to go back into retirement once again. But again, what they say, the last thing that leaves is the power. If Manny got any of that power still left in him, if he lands that left hand, he can hurt the young gun. So, but that's easier said than done.
On the other hand, Oscar De La Hoya has voiced his support for Manny Pacquiao's return to the ring, expressing confidence in the legendary fighter despite his age. While acknowledging that Pacquiao is now in his mid-40s, De La Hoya believes the Filipino icon still possesses the heart, determination, and skill to go toe-to-toe with younger opponents like Mario Barrios. He praised Pacquiao's storied career and insisted that a fighter with such immense experience should never be underestimated. For De La Hoya, the focus isn't on age. It's on what Pacquiao still brings to the table.
I wish him all the best.
Quadra, I love him.
Can he do it?
Quadra?
Can he do it? Absolutely. Manny Pacquiao's
Oscar needs.
He's a legend. You know,
some nice ones. Thank you.
he's a legend. I think he can do it. Absolutely. I mean, it's not going to be easy, but I think he can do it.
Despite the skepticism, Mario Barrios remains calm and confident. Speaking ahead of the fight, Barrios made it clear that while he respects Pacquiao, he isn't intimidated. He plans to stick to his game plan and use his youth and reach advantage to apply constant pressure. For Barrios, this isn't just a payday. It's the biggest opportunity of his career and a chance to add Pacquiao's name to his resume.
When you see the Manny Pacquiao fight, what can you learn from that fight?
It showed that, combination punchers, that's how Pacquiao, was landing, his punches, combinations. And, it just showed you that, he is a great fighter, but, I'm going into this camp, into this fight confident, everything right with our game plan. And I'm going to try to execute it as best as I.
Boxing analyst Teddy Atlas has voiced skepticism about Mario Barrios' perceived size advantage against Manny Pacquiao. While Barrios is taller and has a longer reach, Atlas questions the true impact of this edge, noting that Barrios only recently moved up to the welterweight division after previously competing at lower weights. Barrios himself admitted that making the 140 lb limit had become increasingly difficult, prompting the shift. Despite his physical attributes, Atlas believes Barrios' size may not offer a significant advantage in the ring. This suggests the matchup could be more evenly balanced than expected, potentially setting the stage for a more competitive contest between the seasoned Pacquiao and the younger Barrios. The announcement of Pacquiao's return has sent shockwaves through the boxing world, with many fans still processing the news following his 2021 retirement and years of inactivity.
Naturally as big a man as those other welterweights. So start there. That's a fair point. He moved up in weight, Barrios. So he's not a naturally big, natural welterweight. And of course we understand Pacquiao has moved up. My God, I don't even know when he first turned pro, you would have thought maybe he could have been a jockey.
Yeah,
I mean he was
108 pounds, right?
Yeah, jockeys are about 105 pounds, I think, somewhere around that neighborhood. I mean, can you imagine him though going to the whip? He might have killed the horse. That's the only thing. Yeah, you would have had Petter. What is it called? Peter, whatever. Peter. You would have had Peter coming after you. Look what he did to this horse. But look, I love Pacquiao. One of my favorite people. One of my favorite fighters in the whole world. He's moved up from incredible weight. People forget about that. That's why I brought it up. How many weight classes this man has really moved up. Incredible. Just incredible. But now, yeah, Barrios wouldn't be as big as those other guys, but he's still a guy that's confident. He's a guy that's a world champion. He's a guy who throws a lot of punches. He's a guy who's younger, who's active, who I know you can't go by this guy beat this guy, but he could beat that guy, but he could beat this guy, but you can't go by that in my business, in this business, because styles make fights. But you're right. He beat Ugas. You could say Ugas was a little older than when he fought him a little bit than when Pacquiao fought him, and maybe that made a difference, whatever. But he did take a lot of punishment, Pacquiao, in the Ugas fight.
Mauricio Sulaiman, president of the WBC, confirmed that all necessary permissions were secured to allow Pacquiao to compete for the welterweight title. Speculation is growing that the Barrios fight is just a stepping stone for Manny Pacquiao. Many rumors suggest that if Pacquiao defeats Barrios, it could set the stage for a massive showdown with Gervonta Tank Davis. Fans and analysts are questioning whether Barrios was chosen as a more manageable opponent to help Pacquiao build momentum and generate buzz for what could be his final blockbuster bout. The belief is that this fight may not be the ultimate test, but rather a strategic move toward a high-profile, career-defining clash with Davis.
WBC President Mauricio Sulaiman has said Mario Barrios will face Manny Pacquiao this July. That's some crazy shit, bro. That's some crazy news. Manny Pacquiao is 46 years of age. He's making his return to the ring. And he said he wants to go out with a bang. He wants to finish his career as a champion. That's some crazy shit. Manny Pacquiao's professional record currently stands at 62 wins. 39 of those coming via knockout, 8 losses and 2 draws. Manny Pacquiao has one of the most impressive CVs in the sport of boxing. Just take a look at from 09 Ricky Hatton all the way up until here. There's so many names: Timothy Bradley, Manuel Marquez, Shane Mosley, Joshua Clotley, Miguel Cotto, Floyd Mayweather, Jesse Vargas. Like, there's so many names on this list. You know what I'm saying? Let's take a look at Mario Barrios' record. 29 wins, 18 of those coming via knockout, 2 losses and 1 draw on his resume. What do I make of this fight? I don't know, you know. I mean, listen, this is a young man's sport. I ask myself, Manny Pacquiao, why do you want to come back and fight a younger fighter? You know what I mean? Mario Barrios, who's the current champion, who's the WBC champion. Why? What have you got to prove? You've proven everything throughout your career. So I don't know what to say. But anyways, let me know in the comment section what you guys think. And watch a clip of the president of the WBC, Mauricio Sulaiman, talk about this.
As of now, Mario Barrios is the WBC champion. So who is he mandated to fight next? Do you have made that decision yet?
Well, at this time, Mario Barrios is going to fight Manny Pacquiao in July. He wants to retire as WBC champion, so he's fighting in the welterweight division.
Why does he come out of retirement and get a WBC title shot in his first fight?
Because it's something that WBC has respected. Sugar Ray Leonard was retired 4 years when he requested to fight Marvin Hagler and defeated Hagler. So we do have that provision in the rules. A legendary champion with the credentials such as Manny Pacquiao. He has been medically cleared, licensed by Nevada, so we have voted in favor to allow that fight to happen.
If Pacquiao defeats Barrios, a showdown with Gervonta Davis could become one of the most anticipated fights in recent memory. 2 explosive southpaws, both with massive fan bases, facing off would command global attention. Pacquiao's return carries a deep sense of nostalgia. He's chasing the same WBC title that launched his rise to international stardom. Back then, he won his first world championship at flyweight. Now he's aiming to close his career as WBC welterweight champion. It's a full-circle moment that goes beyond simply adding another belt. For Pacquiao, this fight feels personal. It's not just about legacy, it's about reconnecting with where it all began. His comeback appears driven as much by emotion and reflection as by the desire to compete.
Boxing Doctor News told Onto Your Gloves, boxing fans, the rumors are true. Manny Pacquiao is stepping back into the ring. At 46 years old, the Filipino legend is taking on WBC welterweight champ Mario Barrios this July. But here's the kicker. Pacquiao's first world title was as a flyweight, and now he wants to retire as the WBC welterweight champ. Talk about a career comeback, but can the Pac-Man turn back time? He hasn't been in top form lately, while Barrios is coming off a tough draw. Will Pacquiao's experience triumph over youth, or is this one fight too far? Either way, July is shaping up to be an explosive month for boxing. Pacquiao's rolling the dice one last time. Will he make history as the oldest welterweight champ ever? You get ready for a showdown that'll have you on the edge of your seat.
Fans and commentators are drawing parallels between Pacquiao and George Foreman, who famously reclaimed a world title at 46. It's a rare feat in boxing history, but not unheard of. Many believe that if Foreman could do it, Pacquiao, with his relentless energy and legendary status, might be capable of replicating that achievement. The fight has become a story of defying age and expectations.
So Manny Pacquiao versus Mario Barrios for the WBC welterweight title is being targeted for late July in either San Antonio or Las Vegas on Amazon Prime. And Pacquiao is currently in a Senate campaign in the Philippines in May, but after that he wants to return in the summer for a world title and try to break his own record as the oldest welterweight champion at 46 years old. Now I have every issue in the world with this. Manny Pacquiao, he's my favorite fighter of all time, but this is just not great for boxing. Pacquiao's last fight was 4 years ago in 2021 against Jordanis Lugas, and in that fight he looked a lot slower, not as explosive, and he got outboxed. And then last year when he was targeting the Barrios fight, he had an exhibition against a kickboxer, Rukia Anpo first, and he looked even slower and even more hittable in that fight. I don't think Pacquiao should be sanctioned to fight a world title fight at 46 years old, and not that Barrios is some scary knockout artist or a pound-for-pound level talent. If there's one champ at 147 that Pacquiao could upset, it would be Barrios. But in all likelihood, Barrios being the younger, bigger guy, he's just going to beat Manny for 12 rounds, probably stop him late. So I just don't want to see the fight. Pacquiao's accomplished everything in the sport. He really doesn't need another fight at 46.
Manny Pacquiao's comeback has reignited excitement and debate within the boxing world. At 46, he's stepping back into the ring after a 4-year hiatus, aiming to reclaim the title that once launched his legendary career. This matchup pits Pacquiao's experience against Barrios' youth, while also raising questions about legacy, motivation, and the ever-evolving dynamics of the sport.
A lot of people are asking what's going on. Are the rumors true? Is it possibly Spence? Is it Pacquiao? Who is Mario Barrios sharing the ring with next?
You know what? He's put himself in a great position through hard work. He's a tremendous story. When he turned pro and what he's been able to accomplish being a 2-time world champion. And I always told everybody, he fights all comers. When we fought Gervonta Davis, all my hats off to Gervonta Davis. But it was very difficult for us to make the weight. We were going to move up in weight. They presented us, with this opportunity, and he said, I'll bite down for it one more time. And then from there, obviously we had a tough loss, but it was a competitive fight. And his first fight at 147 pounds, he goes on and takes on Keith Thurman. No tune-ups, no getting used to the thing. Goes at that point is about as good as you can get in the division, and took on that. So he takes on all comers, all challenges. His first world title against Petirov, the Russian, is about as tough as you could have done at the time. And so I think he's earned the right now to be in the biggest, best possible fights. And now it's going to be up to Al Heyman and Louis DeCubas Jr. on what they see is best and fit for his career, whether that's, Pacquiao, Spence, if that's a unification with Boots in it.
Do you think Pacquiao's confidence will lead him to victory? Or is Barrios ready to defend his title and prove the doubters wrong? Share your thoughts and join the conversation below.